Welcome to Popcorn Planet. I am Andy Signore. I was out this evening, but I couldn't wait till the morning to report this breaking news that came in hours ago. Jussie Smollett has been found guilty of lying to the police in hate crime hoax. Man, this guy is despicable, and I am so grateful that this special prosecutor came in and actually finally tried this case and got a jury to hear all of the evidence and come out with their own verdict. He was now proven guilty of lying on 5 of the 6 accounts. We have the special prosecutor here on video explaining some more of it. I want you to hear from him.
That in fact, Mr. Smollett had faked a hate crime and then lied to the police about it, and then compounded his crimes by lying to the jury during the course of this trial and insulting their intelligence. That's what I told the jury in my closing argument. With the resounding verdict we just received from this jury after 1 day of deliberations, in which they found Mr. Smollett guilty of virtually all charges of doing exactly what we said he did, of reporting a fake crime to the Chicago Police Department as a real crime. That verdict was a resounding message by the jury that in fact Mr. Smollett did exactly what we said he did. And what I think is important about this verdict is that a lot of you from Chicago know that it was a couple years ago when the court system came to me and wanted me to become special prosecutor because there was a feeling that things that had happened in the past, that there never was a public trial, and that this controversial events that occurred regarding Mr. Smollett and what he did to this city and what he did to the Chicago Police Department never had a chance to put it in front of a jury and let a jury decide, after hearing all the evidence, whether what Mr. Smollett was right or wrong, because it's very controversial. I agreed to do that because I felt it was also important for the Cook County judicial system to get a trial. Whether we won or lost the trial was not the issue. What was the issue is that what Mr. Smollett had done in this city should be aired in front of a public trial where all the evidence that comes out, all the talk on social media may or may not be true, but the true facts, I thought, needed to come out, and we did it. And we became special prosecutors, and the rest is history. We've now won this case, and I want to point out that there's an enormous effort was put in when I agreed to take the special prosecutor role. That meant that my law firm became special prosecutors, and the men and women around me right now in the last 2.5 years have worked so hard to develop the evidence, present it to a grand jury, go through a pandemic, wait to get a trial, which we wanted, and finally in the last 10 days, these lawyers have had a chance to present this evidence to a jury, and we've come away with the jury agreeing that they should have heard the case, and in fact he was guilty. Thank you very much.
He answers some more questions. He does go in and explain. One, he didn't charge, which is good. They did this pro bono, so this didn't cost Chicago more money. A special prosecutor came in and did this for free. On top of that, they go into what's next. He doesn't really guess and sense. I asked Christopher Melcher, our attorney, who we ask and get on the show a lot. I asked her, so what's next? What's this mean? Well, he's free. Jussie is going to be free until sentence hearing, which is unclear when exactly that is, probably a few more weeks. The court will consider his lack of criminal history and background. Christopher's guess is that the court will sentence him to around a year, and he will get out early. That's his suspicion. However, the prosecutor made a point. He's going to remind the judge that he perjured himself. Jussie was lying continuously on the stand, continuing to ruin this. I mean, and just so we're clear, like I see a lot of people, and I mean, a lot of people have egg on their face, right? And a lot of people are calling it out. And to be fair, some people had the right intentions when they wanted to side with him. A lot of his castmates, etc. Good for them being loyal and try to stand by their friend. Who would have thought this guy would have this in him to fake all this? But when the charges were dropped last year, it was a really big deal. It was, like, out of nowhere, it was just like, sorry, you're good. Let's get out of here. See? And it made the Chicago police look really terrible. And we're always making police look really terrible. So I really, really, really applaud these juries, the special prosecutor, to come in and finally tell us, guys, cops aren't always bad. Yes, they're bad a lot. I hear you. There's some definite bad apples out there. However, in this case, they really did do a good job. They were trying their best. They spent so many man hours on this case, and it's hard to see. I mean, I expect it from his castmates, but then like people like Ava DuVernay and Tyler Perry was out there, Anthony Anderson, Leno, a lot of people just coming forward, just sort of, immediately just cops lied. Jussie is telling the truth. And then the reality is like, no, it's not what happened, guys. It's really not what happened. Those that remember Dave Chappelle standing up and giving that whole speech, it's pretty hilarious to watch again now. Because again, what was so crazy about this case was the fact that he said he went out at 2 a.m. Special prosecutor made a point like this was the coldest day on record in Chicago, mind you. Coldest day on record. And he went out at 2 a.m. to go get, eggs or something. And then, or it was going to eggs and then was going to go to a 24-hour Subway or something is what the excuses were that were coming out of Jussie as he explained this further and further. 2 a.m. on the coldest day, and then randomly went out to do this. But where he really got lost was like, they were like, well, then why are you meeting up with these two guys? Like the two guys you say was a hoax. Well, how did that make sense? And then he went off and sort of explained that he had a relationship with one of them. I think I have more of the information here. He did go on to explain. Here it is. It's insane when you get these details. Smollett, who is black and gay, claimed two men beat him up, yelled these things, and dumped a chemical on him, and then tied around his neck a NOOSE. What's crazy is the prosecutor reveals not only these inconsistencies, but he increased the knot up higher to his neck. They caught it on surveillance photos and stuff before he went up. So when the cops came, it looked worse. Like he was caught in so many ways. And then he went out, but he went out. All right, no one would have gone out to buy eggs at 2 a.m. on one of the coldest nights of the year. The brothers would have not been able to ambush him unless they knew the exact location. They knew where he was going to be because they were told where to be. Smollett's attorneys denied it, saying the prosecutor's case was a house of cards. Yeah, good one, real. It's just insane. And what this does to actual people who go through these things is insane. When Smollett took the stand, it got heated at times, and he told the jurors that he and Abel, one of the brothers who he paid, had a relationship before it, and his communications with the brothers the night of the attack were about scheduling a personal training session. Abel has denied the affair with Smollett, and Smollett repeatedly said there was no hoax, there was no hoax, there was no hoax. But dude, sorry, you were proven wrong. You lost. You rolled the dice. You went to case. Well, you didn't really have a choice. There was no settlement. You thought you were going to get out of this. When you went out the first time and they threw the charges out because clearly someone was helping you. Clearly there's some corruption on that end. And that prosecutor should definitely be checked into. You got help. Kamala Harris, all these people were helping him. He was with the Obamas. He clearly had some political sway, no doubt. And so we got it thrown out. And what does he do as soon as he gets thrown out? I told you all. Well, you didn't tell us anything because it turns out you were lying. You have been now proven a liar. You are in fact a liar. The jury, justice was served. I'm just grateful to see justice finally served. Here he is trying to put it on again so he could make sure it was seen. Jussie Smollett, you're a disgrace. Just own it up already. Move on. Get over this. You're never going to be forgiven, or you're never going to be able to get accountability until you fess up, sir. Enough is enough. You lost. It's over. Take it like a man, and maybe someday some people will forgive you. You did it's just one of the worst things you could do to lie about such a thing. Is disgraceful. Is disgraceful. So thank goodness this jury figured out, saw through it, and thank you for the special prosecutor coming forward to vindicate the police in Chicago and everybody else. And justice has now been served. What do you guys think? Make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit the bell for all alerts, smash that like button down below, and leave a comment on your thoughts on this case. Are you as grateful and excited as I am? Thank goodness. There would have been chaos had this not gone through the way everyone thought it was going to go through, and someone decided to corrupt this again. So thankfully the truth came forward. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll be back live tomorrow and every weekday around 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here on Popcorn Planet.